friends and enemies who are listening out of spite. This is the introduction to this week's Super Divorce Supercast, and we're going to talk about Ghosts N Goblins and some other shit that we ended up talking about.
Branching off some Ghosts N Goblins.
Because you have to mix it up a little bit.
Yep, a little.
It keeps it fresh. My friend's mom said that one time.
You have to mix it up a little bit?
Well, what did she say? Someone, I don't know how it came up. She had walked down in the basement when we were having a sleepover.
Uh-huh.
And I think maybe one of the dudes called someone else a douche. And she kind of poked her head in. She's like, well, you got to keep it fresh, you know?
Oh, my God.
So,
that's...
yeah.
None of you probably knew what she was talking about at the time.
No, we did. We were in high school.
So you were in high school.
It was more of a, oh, no!
Oh, okay. No, that's awesome. That's really hilarious.
Yeah. So, anyhow, if you would like to deepen your connection to us and really take the relationship to the next level, go ahead and check us out at superdivorceme.com, facebook.com/superdivorce. Give us a like over there. Like skier too. We're always posting lots of lovely content for you to consume every day. You can check us out on Twitter at superdivorce, Instagram at superdivorceband, and Snapchat superdivorce. If you want to get in touch with me on social media, it's just Nicholas Villars wherever you go.
If you want to get in touch with me on social media, on Instagram, it's at BenderButt. On Twitter, it's at BendersButt. Bender Butts, I don't fucking know. So stupid. I'm going to change them all again. Bender Butts on Twitter and at Bender's Butt on Snapchat. I'm pretty sure you can find me if you just type in Zach Bender on those places. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my really difficult way of finding me.
And here's another episode for you.
Enjoy, chefs.
We are not getting a divorce.
We are not getting a divorce.
We are not getting a divorce.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Super Divorce Supercast. Nicholas here.
And Bender.
And we're just hanging out here. We just got done playing a little NES.
Yes.
Playing some Ghouls and Ghosts. Ghosts N Goblins. What the fuck's it called?
I think it's Ghosts N Goblins.
Ghosts N Goblins.
Or Ghosts N Ghouls.
Ghosts N Ghouls.
Because then it's Super Ghosts N Goblins.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still in the system.
Yeah. We were playing that. And it's not an easy game.
No, it's not.
It's like I don't know, most NES games seem to just be set with a default of like the Dark Souls games.
Yes,
That's just what you got, just out of the box. It wasn't anything special. Like with the Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodborne, the big draw is like, these games are so fucking hard. But back in the day, it was like, every game is so fucking hard.
It's true. We played for probably, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes-ish or something.
Around there.
And we had to, you get 3 lives, 3 tries, and we had to continue about 6 times, and we still didn't get to level 2.
Nah. We got close.
We got real close.
We were right there.
It's
the thing about those games is they reward you for your persistence, though.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten further in that game, but I had to do it over the course of like a night.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever beat that one. I got to like the last level, and I couldn't do it anymore, you know. But it's one of those things where you just have to, the pattern has to get burned into your brain before you can like, just out of muscle reflex, like, you know, you're just muscle memory.
Right.
You make your way through the level, if you play long enough.
And I do not know if I would be determined to play long enough. They're difficult, and I mean, I knew going into it was going to be difficult, but they're like next level. I mean, we were kind of talking about like how the fuck, we've mentioned it before, but just like kids playing these games when they came out, I don't think anybody ever beat it until Angry Video Game Nerd was like, I'm going to beat Ghosts N Goblins, and then did. But, I mean, you just like, it's like, another one is like the Lion King game. Everybody talks about how they never ever made it past the Stampede.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know a single person that's ever been like, oh yeah, I beat the Lion King game. And I feel like most NES games are like that.
I mean, if you read Nintendo Power back in the day, there was a phone number that you could call to get tips for games.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are they gonna fucking tell you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's the other thing we were talking about is like, were there parents like back in the day that would like return the NES system or try to return the game and just be like, my kid can't even play this. It's so hard. Like, I don't understand. And then, the clerks would just be like, well, guess they should just get better at it then. Like, there's no easy setting. There's no real strategy, I feel like. Like, if you called that hotline, we're like, yo, I can't beat Ghosts N Goblins, they'd just be like, well, did you keep the spear or did you get the fireball?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I kept the spear.
I don't know.
Keep playing? Try it again.
Practice. Just
the guys that spit blue fire take 10 hits before they die. That I can tell you that. Plan your shots accordingly.
Yeah, I guess don't get the fire would be a good one.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you get fucked like you did one time where there's a ladder you had to go down and a fireball appeared right above
on top
the ladder.
of it.
So you've got no choice. And then your weapon sucks until you find another one.
And it doesn't happen that often.
No. It's probably at least another continue or two until you stumble upon something worthwhile.
Yeah.
So
it was it's pretty infuriating game.
And then like with the older systems, well, I guess NES and probably Atari and television, like the controls sometimes just didn't do what they were supposed to do.
No.
So like you're pressing over and the guy just stops.
Yeah.
And then you fall into a hole or something,
It's all, and they've all got that they've all got bounce back damage, so if you get hit, you fly backwards, so you can't be standing on like the edge of something, because if you get hit, you'll fly off of it and fall into a pit.
Or if you're on solid ground, you will inconveniently probably fly into other enemies that are walking towards you.
Yep.
It almost happens without fail.
Right.
You get hit, then you're pretty much dead.
Pretty much.
So, yeah.
Let's see if we can look up some like facts about the game here.
Do you remember when I did a flyer for us in the style of this game?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that for? It was at Scully's. God, what
was
a
it
shit show.
Was it the Scully's thing?
It
or
was.
Was it a Legion doohickey?
No, it was Scully's.
Where was Scully's? I don't even remember.
Columbus?
That. Was it Columbus?
Remember the fucking place where...
with the records? No, that was somewhere else.
There was a record store right next door. But we had the guy, the fucking dude who filled in on bass.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
was a shit show. We played for like 6 people.
Yeah.
And
it was the same place we saw Saves the Day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It doesn't make you feel good to...
I don't like that place.
I would have liked it if there were people there.
Yeah, like I'm not hating on like Saves the Day or anything, but when we went to see them, I didn't know who they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I also didn't know any of the other bands playing, and obviously I was preoccupied that night.
Yeah, you were.
And so like it wasn't like a bad experience, but there was a looming feeling over that evening that that I was feeling a little lonely
Yeah.
because certain people were there and certain people weren't.
Right.
And then like going back, like it's a cool venue, but going back and then like playing there
Yeah.
and only playing to 6 people, I'm just like, this place
Just
isn't really worth it.
Brings back feelings of loneliness.
Yeah. Like nobody will ever want to be with me at Scully's.
Yeah, it was a bad show.
It was a bad show.
I also dropped and broke a water bottle just like this.
Oh,
right before
yeah.
we played at the record store.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like these things, you're supposed to be able to like throw them off a fucking cliff, and they won't break. The Nalgene bottles, which they're very high quality, but like the way I dropped it, it fell straight down.
Yep.
And the entire bottom just cracked off.
Yep.
It was like it spontaneously formed a new lid.
Uh-huh.
And it opened, and I like was looking around. I remember I found there was just a blanket lying underneath one of the record shelves, and I just grabbed it and was like wiping up all the water. I just put it back when I was done. At least I cleaned it up.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have just gotten embarrassed and stormed out of the store as quickly as they could. I tried to make right, do the right thing.
Here's a fact. The Ghosts N Goblins franchise was created by Tokuro Fujiwara, also known for producing the Mega Man franchise.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know.
Now I know.
There are 7 games in the main series.
7?
Yep, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghosts and Ghouls, Ghouls and Ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts and Goblins. Number 2, Ghouls and Ghosts. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Makimura for Wonder Swan. Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, Ghosts and Goblins Gold Knights, and Ghosts and Goblins Gold Knights 2.
Does it say which system the old, like the later entries are for?
Let's click on their Wikipedia entry.
I've never even heard of those games, and I like to think I'm somewhat in the know. But I'm not a huge Ghosts and Goblins fanboy, so I guess it's not too surprising.
Looks like Ghosts and Goblins Gold Knights might be a phone game because it says microtransactions on here.
I'm going to check my app store right now and see.
It doesn't fucking say like what system it's on. That's so dumb. Just like it's not even in the information.
Ghosts and Goblins. There's Ghosts and Goblins Mobile.
Oh.
From Capcom. It doesn't say Gold Knights.
Well, I can't figure out what system they're on.
This looks like...
This is probably super boring for our listeners.
No, you guys love NES games, right?
Yeah.
You're going to learn about it. Learn some stuff while you're here. It says the controls, if you have an iPhone, well, it says smartphones, so I'm guessing it's on Android too.
Uh-huh.
But controls optimized for smartphones, 2 modes, pick up and play, casual mode, and the original classic mode. See, they added a casual mode. That probably means that...
Oh, fucking right there. Fucking platform, iOS. So it's app. So that's on a phone. It's a phone thing. Wow,
it says iOS, right? But
stupid.
That didn't come up for me. I only see Ghosts and Goblins Mobile.
You
did say Ghosts and Goblins, right? Not Ghouls and Ghosts.
It's like it's so Ghosts and Goblins Gold Knights. N with like, an apostrophe N. Ghosts and Goblins, Gold Knights. Also, there are 2 primary spin-offs to Ghosts and Goblins, and they are called Gargoyle's Quest and the Maximo games, which were on PlayStation.
I remember Maximo.
Yeah, I never played Maximo, but I always thought it looked cool.
I did not play it either, but I do remember it. There's this game. If you're out there and you have your iPhone handy, you can check out Freaky Creatures, Ghosts and Goblins Defense. What do you think about that one?
No.
No.
I don't think so. No, thank you. Gargoyle's Quest was released on the original Game Boy.
Oh.
And the 3DS Virtual Console.
I heard the 3DS is going to be winding down.
Really?
Probably.
Does that mean...
Nintendo will be replacing probably the 3DS market with the Switch?
Really? Like, completely, huh?
Eventually.
Right.
I think that's the plan, is to not release like a new version of just a handheld.
Mm-hmm. And just focus on pushing the Switch because it is a handheld.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean...
Yeah. And honestly, you're paying like $100 more than you would for a brand new 3DS system anyways.
Yeah.
The only downside is like losing out all those 3DS games, because I think there's some really solid, games on that system.
What if they came out with like the Switch XL and it's just like a 60-inch TV? You can take
Giant
it with you.
Controllers.
Yeah, they slide on the side of your 60-inch TV and you just play with your face 2 inches away from the screen.
Yeah, I'd buy it.
I would.
What if they release a Switch, Switch XL or something that has a 3DS port in it, so you can play all of your 3DS games on your Switch screen?
That'd be really cool. But they probably won't do that because I can see them doing like a virtual console for the 3DS, and then you'll just get the digital versions of 3DS games on.
Yeah,
that's
certainly that's a much better option. It's just,
I mean, I'm a big fan of having like backwards compatibility where you can play with old games or old discs or cartridges, but it's kind of a rare thing these days with digital streaming and such, because they want you to spend the money again, and so.
Speaking of 80s games, though, did you see that the NES Classic is being discontinued?
Yeah, which rumor has it is due to what we were just talking about, is they're going to probably put all those games on the Switch Virtual Console. So if they keep selling the Mini, the NES Classic, then that's money they have to spend on production.
Right.
And you get all those games built into it. Or they can just not spend any money on production and have them digital and get all of your money without having to produce anything. So...
It's shitty.
Shitty, but I understand.
I understand it, but it's just
it still sucks.
Yeah, you're just,
Because, like, if you didn't get one just out of pure luck, really, I mean, after the first wave, I guess when you knew they were coming out, you could have lined up, like, 3 days before and made sure that you got one, but, I mean, I just assumed... When we've talked about it before, I said I thought it would be just one of those fucking things you would get at the store, and there would be plenty of them.
Right.
Because it seems like something so many people would want, and they did, but,
Nintendo just didn't produce...
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like, I understand, like, going digital and everything, and, you're right, it's like... no production and making money versus having to produce these physical things and ship them and everything, and so you're losing money that way. But like, I kind of feel like, I don't know how much it really weighs out. I'm sure the numbers are in favor of not producing it anymore. But it's like, I kind of feel like if they kept producing it, more people would buy it than are going to download NES games onto their Switch.
Maybe.
Because I feel like there might be a number of families out there who buy the NES Classic because it's an NES Classic, and they might not have a Switch, or if they do have a Switch, they're just playing. It's their kids play it, and so they're only playing newer games and stuff like that.
Well, if it might, I don't know. Usually, companies only make maybe a few dollars on console sales.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the breakdown was for the NES Classic, but if they were only making $1 per console, they might have just been like, well, we'd rather use our resources in other places. And I've also heard rumors that they're going to do a Super Nintendo Mini.
Yeah, that was the next, in the article that I read, that was the same thing. They were just like, we're hoping that if they cancel this, you're going to get a Super Nintendo Mini. Which I feel like we just run into the same...
It'll probably be the same thing, but I mean, I guess now you have to know that Nintendo is not... They're not producing these in hopes of, blowing sales out of the water or anything. It's like, this is a boutique item, if you will, that collectors are going to get their hands on, and that's going to be about it.
Right.
And with a fucking sloppy trailer park lady that got one at Target when I showed up the first day. Just like, well, we had 2, so the first 2 people that walked in are going to get them, and I was just
2.
like... Yeah.
So dumb.
There were maybe, I don't know, when I walked up, maybe 6 or 7 people ahead of me, and then as soon as they opened the door, that's what he said. Well, we had 2 of the NES come in, so...
First 2 people in line?
Yeah, if...
That's so dumb.
If you're here for that, you might as well go home, so...
I think I'd get a Super Nintendo, Classic if they re-released it.
Mm-hmm. The Famicom is pretty cool, too. I don't know if you've seen that. They released a mini version of that one as well.
Really? That was before NES, wasn't it? Or was it the Japanese
It was
version,
the Japanese
basically?
Version. Yeah.
So what's on the Famicom? Is it mostly the same games that are on the NES?
Yeah, there are a handful that are different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the lineup off the top of my head, but nothing is in English, I heard. So if you get one,
that's kind
then you just have to kind of navigate through. But they're like NES menus, so you should be able to figure it out.
Right, yeah, it shouldn't be hard, but it's just kind of that's like I watched a French movie one time without any subtitles, just watched it in French, and I was just kind of I don't really know what's happening, but this movie's really hard to find, and this is the only version I could download, so...
Yeah.
I watched it with a friend of mine, and we just sort of made it up the whole time. It was called Baby Blood.
Was there baby blood?
No, but this woman gets pregnant with a demon spawn, and there's this really cool scene where these 2 giant bloody arms come out of her stomach. It's a dream, but it's it was pretty cool. And then she gives birth to an alien, and it strangles a bus driver, and they drive into the ocean. It's and she's naked for most of the movie for no particular reason. Yeah, it was weird, and in French.
Oh.
But we're kind of just bullshitting. We meant to spend, most of the cast talking about Ghosts and Goblins, but we're spinning off.
Yeah, as we always do.
Yes.
But where would you rate this game as far as most difficult video games you've ever played?
Oh man. I I mean, it's pretty up there, mostly because I gave it not really the old college try, but
Yeah.
I definitely we sort of stuck with it for a little bit longer than I might have otherwise. I have played the first Dark Souls, and I played it for about 20 minutes, and I was like, fuck this. It's so stupid. So, I don't know. There's a game that is produced by the people that made Dark Souls. It's called Nioh, or I don't even know how you spell it. It's Nioh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's the same thing as Dark Souls, but you are a samurai and you like shipwreck and wash up on a shore, and then you have to fight like other samurai and shit. I played the demo for that, and I could not for the life of me beat the first enemy you encounter.
Really?
And I was like, why?
The very first? It wasn't a boss or anything?
No, the very first dude that you encounter in the demo, and it took me like I couldn't even do it. I got him pretty low, and he would just beat me every freaking time. And I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Well.
So, I mean, I wouldn't put it... We almost made it to level 2.
Yeah,
almost. So, I'd probably put it in, like, my top 10 hardest games. Higher in the top 10, like, near, like, maybe top 5. But I tend to... if a game is too hard, I tend to give up on it pretty quickly.
Well, we'll have to try Bad Dudes sometime and play it for all of 5 minutes before we both give up. So, some more discussion on Ghosts and Goblins. When you compare it to other art from the era,
mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit different thing going on.
Yeah.
The box did as well. Most of them had that classic, like the cover of Boss Monster.
Uh-huh.
That kind of design, but every now and then
slanted words and everything.
And this one didn't. It was actually a lot like this.
Really?
Yeah. Which you didn't see very often back in the day.
Right.
Most of the NES games followed that same kind of design aesthetic. And every now and then you had a straggler that dared to branch out and do something different.
Uh-huh.
And then I always wondered, I've never looked this up. Did you ever see like certain NES games and the cartridge is like slanted at the top and it's like black?
Yes.
They look different than your normal NES cartridge.
Yeah.
Like a different shape.
Uh-huh.
The Tetris, like kind of knockoff Tetris, had that thing going on. And I think there was maybe RBI Baseball that had the same thing.
It's like they couldn't just... It's not just a knockoff game. They had to literally make a knockoff product, too.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have licensing to make the same model of cartridge that Nintendo had.
I used to have one around here, but I don't know what happened. Yeah, well, but yeah, the old NES... this is a personal preference of mine. Unless I absolutely have to, I will not play on an emulator.
Yeah.
I much prefer tracking the game down and putting it in the console and playing
I
on my
agree.
TV.
Yeah, that would be much more fun.
I wanted to play the first 2 Metal Gear games on the MSX, which is the Japanese system they came out for, and I didn't want to pay, whatever, it was like $200 for one of those systems, and however much the games were, so I did get an emulator for that, and I ended up playing and beating the first 2 Metal Gear games on my keyboard on my computer, and it's just like, it sucks. I hated doing it, but I did it just to power through.
Right.
But, like, buying a console on NES or Super Nintendo, it's not, like, super expensive. You can find them for $40 or $50.
Right.
I think it's worth it.
I think so, too. I mean, like I said, we actually have two Super Nintendos, and for whatever reason, they're not working on our either of our TVs. I'm trying to, on the list of things to eventually acquire is a like a tube TV that will play it, so we can enjoy it, because Lindsay's got a decent selection of games, some notable titles and things like that.
Unfortunately, you won't find your tube TVs at Goodwill anymore, which is where I got that big screen.
Yeah.
But they don't carry tube TVs or like old computer monitors anymore.
Really?
Which seems kind of weird to me because it's Goodwill and like...
Yeah. What are they... They're trying to only carry flat screens?
Yeah, they only carry like flat screens and like LCD monitors and shit. And
that's dumb.
Or LED, whatever. But yeah, I found that out one day because I was going to donate something. They're like, oh, we don't take these anymore. It's like your Goodwill.
Yeah.
You're turning me
just
away.
Take it. Like, that's stupid.
It's like someone could probably use this, you know? Pay $10 for it.
I don't know. Well, maybe I'll take to Craigslist or the flea market.
Yeah, flea market would be your best bet probably if you want one quickly.
Mm-hmm. To go out there and check it out. It'd be nice to have one like a TV with a VCR built into it. I mean, I have a VCR, but still.
I got 2 of those on Craigslist.
Uh-huh.
And I looked them up on Amazon, like, first, and they were selling for, like, some people were selling for, like, over $100.
Why?
I guess you can't find them.
That's ridiculous.
So, like, on Craigslist, you get people who just want to get rid of shit. And
right.
It's like, one person was just like, come and pick it up.
Uh-huh.
And I drove out to this, it was like an office, and they had one with, like, some old kids' tapes, and they were just clearing shit out, and they're like, you can have some of the tapes if you want them too, and it's like some Disney movies.
Yeah.
So I just brought those for Lazarus too, and the other one I did actually meet someone. I think I paid him like $20 for it.
Yeah. My niece has a TV VCR that I used for a while. Maybe, if I'm lucky, and when she gets a little older, I'll be able to snatch that.
Yeah.
Because right now she does have she has her I guess technically stepdad. I'm still kind of getting used to saying that kind of stuff, like my sister's husband and whatever. But I guess
Your
she
brother-in-law?
has my brother-in-law. Yeah, she has my brother-in-law's Xbox 360 hooked up to her little TV, and she plays Minecraft and stuff.
That's cool.
So, but maybe, when she's 7 now, so maybe when she just gets like a little older, I can just like, I'll just buy her a mini like monitor or whatever, and then just be like, I'm gonna take this.
Yeah, when those first came out, I thought they were so cool. My grandparents had one in their bedroom. It's like, wow, there's a VCR built into the TV. And then they put them out with like the VCR and a DVD player built in.
Oh, I don't know if I ever saw one of those. We used to have a DVD VCR player, but not like in the TV.
Yeah,
that's
we
pretty
made
cool.
those for a while too. Do you remember when DVDs and it was when Blu-ray
and
HD DVD
yeah, I remember
came out, and then they had like the dual players for those too.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing.
Yeah, that was a fucking stupid.
Like I don't even know why. Like especially looking back now that Blu-rays are the thing.
You know what? At the time, even back then, I was like, Blu-ray just sounds so much cooler.
Yeah.
Blu-ray's gonna win.
Blu-ray's gonna win.
It's like, I'm not buying any HD DVDs. I'm just gonna go in on Blu-ray.
Uh-huh.
And before I even had a Blu-ray player, I bought, what did I get? Sleeping Beauty was the first Blu-ray that I bought.
Like the animated one?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Obviously the animated one, because you have a lot of Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And the other one just came out. I don't know what the first Blu-ray I bought was. I'd really have to like think about that.
And it's weird. I remember when I started working at buybacks back in 2009. Like our Blu-ray section was, I don't know. You remember like at GameStop how big the Wii section was?
Yeah.
Just like one wall of racks, you know, and not like one of the big walls, but like, you know, a little side wall.
Yeah. Well,
It
in
was
the Wii, especially at the GameStop we worked at, the Wii and Wii U section was like a quarter of one wall because it was like Wii accessories, PlayStation games.
Yeah. But it was like that thin,
Uh,
just one little tiny section. The rest was all DVDs. It's crazy to see. You know, I mean, it happens, but just over the course of time, how that stuff just totally switches positions.
right.
And like, I don't know, it's kind of sad to see sometimes the dying of a format like CDs at Best Buy. There's like just
One aisle.
yeah, one single aisle, and they don't even have like, it's not separated by genre anymore. It's
No,
just
it's
like,
all alphabetical.
yeah,
And they have like 1 or 2 bands per letter.
yeah, and one of their albums.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah, it is weird. I feel worse about CDs dying than I do about DVDs dying. Because
DVDs is not. Yeah, because it got replaced by something that's still physical. You can go out and buy
Right.
a Blu-ray.
yeah.
But I mean, even the Blu-ray section's shrinking at Best Buy. I noticed, like
The movie section in general is like
Yeah.
getting a lot smaller.
I think they've got the one by the Dayton Mall anyway. When I stopped in there last, they just had all movies A to Z.
Really.
Yeah, they'd separated like TV shows and
Right.
in their kids section, but they don't have like a sci-fi and a horror action movie or anything anymore.
Yeah,
which-
their especially their horror section has been diminishing
Yeah.
like very frequently. You know, any Best Buy you go to, their horror section just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's really annoying.
FYE's keeping it going though.
Yeah. Although, you know, I think FYE does a really good job. They're keeping it going. They've got lots of CDs, they've got records, they've got lots of movies and everything. But you know, the last few times I've gone, you know what they did that really pisses me off is they integrated the sci-fi and horror section,
Did they?
and it pisses me off, like, because I'm just trying to find, you know, like
Yeah.
horror movies and stuff, and I'm looking through, and I just keep getting, you know, the Fourth Kind, and all of, like the X-Men movies are in there, and all the Star Wars movies are mixed in there, and the Lord of the Rings movies are mixed in there, and I'm like, no, come on. Like, sci-fi was here and horror was here. Like, what the fuck did you do?
It's
Really,
too bad.
really bothers me. Like, I've almost said something to the people there. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just gone up to them and been like, you know, I know it probably wasn't any of you guys. It was
Yeah.
probably like a corporate decision, but I really hate that you integrated sci-fi and horror. Like, it really bothers me.
When I was managing the buybacks in Cincinnati, I just like took it upon myself to create genre sections,
Really.
even though the company policy was to not do that.
Yeah.
I just was like, this is fucking dumb. I was like, I want to be able to go in someplace and find the shit that I'm looking for in a certain genre, you know.
Yeah.
And I know the reason, it's like, well, we want people to browse and see things that they might not have seen otherwise. It's like, okay, I get that, but, you know, I think it's too scattered. You know, not everyone has time to go and browse the entire store to find one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, browse the entire store to see which horror movies you have.
Right.
Like,
that pisses me off when I go to buybacks.
yeah.
Every time I go to buybacks, I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to have like an hour
Yeah.
or so because you have to sit there and just sift through everything looking for horror movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does bother me. I wish I could walk into a buybacks and just everything, all horror is like right here, you know. I don't know. But well, how about some quick like final thoughts on Ghosts and Goblins? I guess I'll probably never play it again. That's my final thought. No, I think I'd give it another shot. It'd be one of those. It'd be a fun game to play like during a party or something, or
or maybe make an evening of like
trying.
We're gonna beat this game.
Oh god!
And then you just do it.
That would be so ridiculous.
I've done that with Castlevania, the original.
Yeah.
One time, I started early in the afternoon, and I was like, I've been playing this game for almost 25 years. I'm gonna beat it today, and I did. But like, I don't think I got through it until probably like 5 a.m. or something like that.
God.
And it was one of those things where like I don't even know how many times I had to continue, but I had to take a break somewhere in the middle of the night and like take a nap and get back up, to recharge. And it's so nerve-wracking, especially when you're playing on an old system, because at any time it could just freeze up.
Yeah.
You never know. So you've invested like 12 hours into it, and you're just hoping that like, okay, just hang in there. You got like one boss left to beat, and I ended up doing it. So I think that these things can be done, but you just have to have a lot of perseverance.
Yeah.
A lot of patience.
Yeah, it's true. Well, so that was our somewhat podcast on Ghosts and Goblins. Yeah, maybe some night we'll just like take a stab at it.
Yeah.
Or a spear at it.
A spear or a fireball.
I'll take a fireball at it.
Yeah, next week, what do we got going on?
I don't know. Do you want to do... Is it too soon to do another movie?
No.
No?
We make the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, just, we could, get to our roots and do a horror movie, an 80s horror movie.
How about, let's see. They Live?
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
Okay.
We can do They Live.
Be good.
I enjoy that movie.
So there it is. That's what we'll talk about next week.
Yep. We'll talk about John Carpenter's They Live. It'll be awesome.
Little Roddy Piper.
You can listen and consume our podcast on They Live.
Yeah. We hope to see you. We hope that you'll hear us. We hope you'll have us again.
Yeah. Let us into your ears.
We'll be back very shortly with an outroduction.
Outroduction. Yep.
All right, another one down the hatch. Hopefully that tasted pretty good. Hopefully you're feeling nice and full.
I know Ghosts N Goblins left a sour taste in my mouth.
I know.
Bullshit. Tastes like bullshit.
I like a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I do too. I like sour candy.
Yeah. So, what do you say if you got a bitter taste?
Yeah, bitter.
Bitter taste.
Bitter taste.
But some people, sour taste is something people say. I guess there's just people who don't like Warheads and Sweet Tarts.
Yeah. No, Sour Patch Kids.
Crybaby.
Crybabies. Yeah.
Crybaby gum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then there are tear jerkers too.
Yeah.
So, if you didn't know already, now you know that we're fans of sour candy.
We are.
So, if you see us out and you want to bring a nice gift over to us, sour candy.
We like that.
And if you want to buy sprees for us, For me in particular, don't get me regular sprees. I only like the chewy kind.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of...
Do not fuck us over with regular sprees.
I don't like the crunchy sprees.
Yeah, no, the chewy ones are far superior.
So, that's, you can... If you feel like going and updating our wiki page, you can put that in there for us too.
Yeah, and while you're on the internet, you can check out our website, superdivorceme.com. You can find us on Facebook at SuperDivorce, Twitter at SuperDivorce, Instagram at SuperDivorceBand, and Snapchat at SuperDivorce. While you're on our website, be sure to scroll down to the bottom of the page and type in your email address and join our mailing list. When you join, you will automatically be sent a brand new demo song in the very early stages of production, but you will get to hear some actual music from us, mostly Nick.
Well,
at this point.
Yeah.
At this point,
to be
mostly
fair,
Nick.
it's an acoustic
Yeah.
demo.
It's,
So
basically.
It's
yeah.
not the version you're going to hear on the album.
No.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah. But you still get to hear where we're going with our new direction.
Yeah.
And then you can get off the interwebs and get on your phone, and you can find me on Instagram at BenderButt, Twitter at BenderButts, and Snapchat at BendersButt.
And you can find me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, just Nicholas Vlars. Look me up.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Look us both up, because we like to post things pretty normally.
There's a Wendy's commercial on TV right now, and it just made me think, when Jess was pregnant, we used to pass this Wendy's out by her doctor, and for some time on their reader board outside, they had the message to come in and try a Dave's Hot and Juicy. So I always thought that was like the grossest name for a sandwich.
It really was.
Dave's Hot and Juicy.
So nasty.
Ugh. All right. Well, if you're out there and you want a Dave's Hot and Juicy, you can probably find the recipe online.
Probably.
If that sounds good to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and make a Dave's Hot and Juicy. I got hamburger patties at home.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, enjoy, chef.
Super Divorce.